you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest guests?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan here.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys have learned to ride. Amy Hood.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Hood. Like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here in Laughlin, Nevada, and we've got a stacked guest list today here at the Polaris RZR compound. But instead of me giving you a preview of the weekend, we're jumping right into things. Sitting to my left, Ivan the Iron Man Stewart. How is everything going, Ivan? You got some big news breaking out here today?
Yeah, we do, Jim. We're, I'm doing what I do, go to the races once in a while. I just came back from Mexico yesterday. But, yeah, we're introducing a new GMZ RZR tire. Yeah. Or UTV tire, rather. So, yeah, that's exciting. An Ivan Iron Man Stewart edition tire for off-road racing or off-roading as far as that goes.
Yeah. Well, that's got to be pretty big for you. I mean, obviously, everybody knows your accolades in off-road, both short course and desert racing. But, I can't really say retirement because I think you're just as busy as you ever were. But you jumped in with both feet into the UTV movement.
I really did. I see a lot of potential. Dan Matar, my friend who I've known for years, went to the dealer meeting back east, the Polaris dealer meeting they had a couple years ago, and 2 or 3 years ago, and I was thoroughly impressed. I see a lot of potential, and Dan sees potential, and so we got so excited about it. We opened a store in downtown San Diego, and so yeah, I'm jumped in feet first, as I always do everything.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I mean, I know, I've seen a few signature products now, but tell us a little bit about this tire. I mean, for you to stamp your name on a tire, it's got to be a darn good tire. I mean, tell us a little bit about this GMZ. I mean, I know of the brand. They've been around, UTV racing, for quite some time, and, solid product. Tell us a little bit about this tire, because I know you had a hand in developing it.
Well, we knew that GMZ was a great, had a great name and brand, as you mentioned, so we just came up with the design and of a tire. And all the experience that I've had over the years with some of the other bigger manufacturers and truck racing tires, I did all of the testing and development testing for a lot of the big companies over the years. So I had a lot of knowledge and, what I thought was going to be a tire that was going to be durable enough. And as you know as well as I do, there's just the fact that the tire doesn't go flat is a huge plus. So I feel that we developed a tire that's not going to go flat. The other is that it's going to have the side bite, the forward bite, braking abilities, and all these things as we have to have. So the proof will be in the pudding, as we say, Jim. So we build a tire. We think we put everything into it, our heart and soul, and all the information we could get from engineers and myself and Dan Matar, and we go racing, and that'll we'll see what happens. So yeah. I feel it's going to be a great tire, and the main thing is I don't want it to go flat, and I know it's going to have the durability that we need.
Yeah. So you guys are rolling that out here. I mean, making the announcement today here at the UTV World Championship. What's going to be the availability on this tire? I mean, sure, as soon as word gets out there, it's going to spread like wildfire, and people are going to be lined up to buy this.
Well, we just talked about that this morning, and there's a, that's the whole thing. And I mean, it's, shipping and when it's coming and where it's supposed to leave and all those things. I really can't answer you. 2 to 3 weeks is what we're really shooting for.
Well, that's pretty quick. A lot of companies make an announcement, and it's 2 to 3 to 6 months, 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, that's really quick. I mean, you guys are on top of things.
They are really. We had some conversations this morning with GMZ, and they feel confident 3 weeks. always hitches and get-alongs can happen in the industry of, especially in the tire business, but we feel pretty confident.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I mean, I know obviously you've got obviously a Razor tire now or a UTV tire. You've got, Polaris dealership. What's, how often are you out in one of these Razors? I know you've got to have one stuffed in the garage, go out and play a little bit.
Well, Dan Matar, my business partner, has a big piece of property. I go up there and we have a great event. Annually, we're putting this event together where people can come up and drive a Razor or actually ride with me. And I try and give them some of my driving tips, and that's been very popular. He's doing an event next weekend where people can actually come up and drive on this new Ivan Ironman Stewart tire on his piece of property in San Diego. So, yeah, that's all being a part of those things, and the excitement for me is to stay involved. And we're coming out with more and more products all the time. Dan wants to come out with a whole line of Ivan Ironman Stewart products that we'll be announcing as we move along throughout the year. But, a lot of things are in the works.
Yeah.
And like I say, it keeps me involved in the sport. It keeps me seeing the people like you, for example, and I want to see your dad one of these days out here. So it keeps me involved, and it's exciting to watch the sport, and I can relate to it, and the kids and everything, just like you can. Yeah. How great it is. Yeah. Well,
and that being said, I mean, you've been in and around the sport. I mean, how have you seen this sport evolve? In the past 10 to 15 years. I mean, you were there, and at such an elite level. When Trophy Truck came about, and Sal Fish kind of brought it to the forefront, and your accolades are second to none. I mean, that being said, I mean, we're seeing 50-car deep trophy truck fields at this point. I mean, it's got pretty wild.
Incredible, isn't it? But what's really cool about the UTV market and the racing and the competition and everything that goes with it, because not everybody races, as you know, but you have to have people out there pitting. So we're I call it addicting a new generation of off-roaders, and where they can go out and buy a UTV right off the showroom, and it's pretty, as you know, darn dependable. It's got durability, it's got proven, it's got great suspension, it's got ride quality, great seats, great lights, and if not, you can go out and buy these accessories where you and your dad and I had to develop all this stuff. So we were developing shocks during those. Now they just take advantage of what we've done over the years. So turnkey, buy a Razor, and it's ready to go.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the truth. I mean, you go out and you drive one of these XP1000 or XP turbos, and I drive it in the braking and the suspension and the acceleration. I go, man, this is like driving a mini trophy truck.
For $20-25 grand. Now you want to go out and get a trophy truck? What's that going to cost you?
I mean, at least 10 times that.
At least 10 times. So that's what's so great about it, is that we're introducing more people to stay in the off-road industry and racing. Like I say, if not racing, maybe it's pitting or getting involved or prepping or something. All those different ways you can get involved in racing.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, it's great to see you out here. I know, staying busy, doing a few interviews, but congratulations on the new tire and, and everything. It sounds like, you're having, life is treating you well.
Life's good. I have a fantastic life, and I tell people all the time the memories that I've had over the years, and racing, racing's my, the cornerstone of Ivan Stewart is the off-road racing, but I'm really fortunate that I still got my health and my friends, and still ride a motorcycle and do a little off-roading, and so I'm doing fine.
Any itch to do like the NOR 1000 or something like that,
Not really. A lot of people have asked me, and I think that, to do those races, you have to have a burning desire. I mean, and I don't. I have a house in Mexico, so I get quite a bit of off-roading, and I just got other interests right now. It changes. We talked about earlier. Your life changes, and I love it. I mean, I like to go out and explore in Mexico, but the racing end of it is just, I've been there, done that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's anything left for you to accomplish. You left it on a high note, and you're running at such an elite level. When you stepped away, I don't think there's much more there.
And that's the other part of the equation that some people understand, and not everybody, is the fact that when I driving for Toyota, there wasn't anybody that was doing more development work and had better pits and better team than Cal Wells at PPI, and to be a part of that, anything I did now, I'd have to come back a level or two. And I really don't want to go backwards. Yeah. You can understand that.
I can totally understand that. Well, I thank you for your time, Ivan. I know, you're bouncing around here. Beautiful weather out here, but, congratulations on the new tire, and looking forward to seeing it out there in the desert.
Great. Well, hopefully we can get a winner tomorrow. We got 3 or 4 vehicles with the tires, so that'll be the next thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, I really appreciate you having me on the show, John.
All right, thanks. I know we'll have to do it again soon. Get you on the weekly show and talk a little more in depth about things.
Anytime. I do a call in too, by the way.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ivan. All right, Ivan the Ironman Stewart, just amazing guy launching that new tire with GMZ, and man, talk about a way to kick things off here in Laughlin, Nevada. Great, as he walks away here, and lots of people out here, and We got Brandon Schueler from Jagged X. He's going to be next up in on the show, and we're going to get these guys lined up here in the shade. But we got Brandon Schueler going to step in here and keep with the theme of things with champion race car drivers. And speaking of champion race car drivers, obviously Ivan Ironman Stewart there, but Brandon and the boys at Jagged X, you guys got a few championships under your belt.
We do. We definitely do. It may not add up to Ivan's, but but we do. We have a fair amount of them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I find amazing about the UTV. I call it a movement, but, the industry, you guys, Jagged X, I mean, you guys were some of the first guys in here, outrunning. And but you've got a guy like Ivan who has won just about everything there is to accomplish. I mean, he's iconic. He's, the face of an industry. And he's coming and he's got a UTV dealership and he's getting involved with developing tires. And, to me, that's crazy that you get a guy like that, who is eyeing the UTV industry going, hey, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The UTV industry is ever changing. For me, you look at kind of in the past, and it's like you had your set number of races. You could win each one of those races over 10 years. A guy like me comes in, and this year or this race here, the UTV World Championships, second race of it. It's brand new. It's one of those things. It's like I'm gonna have a new race to win almost every year if we can do it. If we can do it, and obviously the competition's getting harder and harder, but we're gonna do our best.
Yeah, lots of crowns to wear for UTV racer now. UTV World Championship, Mint 400. I mean, you've got the Baja 1000. I mean, there's a lot of event victories out there.
Absolutely, man. It becomes a full-time job. It really does, and trying to keep track of it. There's new series popping up all over the place.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's new series popping up all over. I mean, you guys obviously, been pretty dedicated to the desert. Lots of success. I mean, how have you seen this Polaris RZR platform, kind of evolve? I know there for a while you guys actually had your own signature edition Polaris, available through dealers. But, take us through, the cars you started with to the cars you're running out here today.
It really is insane. And quite frankly, I know it's kind of a name not to bring up, but the Rhino. We started with the Rhino when the first year we started racing. We raced that. We'd be lucky if we could, average 25 miles an hour, and now we're averaging close to 50, just over 50 in some of these races, some of the faster races. So the cars have evolved immensely. Polaris has done a great job of giving us a way better platform throughout the years, and it really is. It's been something that we didn't really expect. We're the golf carts on steroids. It wasn't anything that we were expecting to go 70, 80, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, that being said, it's I was out at the Parker 250, obviously my backyard, and watching and looking at some of the lap times. I mean, you guys were it was insanely fast. It was just nutty. And looking at the brakes now on these new turbos, and I mean, we're talking stuff that's stock from the factory. It's just huge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It goes from a quad platform to really closer to a truck platform. It's stepped up big in every element, and not just the brakes. It's motors, transmissions, front diffs, drive lines. It's everything. Every aspect of the vehicle has changed to a faster car.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I mean, obviously when you guys jumped into it, you guys are now, as far as I call it, I mean, you guys are the team. You're an elite level team, and you guys are the team and the guys for a long time that have had the targets on your back. But it seems like competition now. It used to be there was 2 or 3 really good teams. Now I look, and I'm looking at this, desert race tomorrow, and I'm going, gosh, I'm looking at 15 really fast, maybe 20 teams that could take the victory.
Absolutely. That unfortunately, I did the exact same thing. I was looking at the starting order, and I'm looking at that first row, and I'm reading off names. It's like, man, I know who this is, I know who that is, and I'm like, man, this is hard. I have my work cut out for me, and it's not just this race; it's every race anymore.
Yeah, well, and talking about this race, I know last year you kind of got a bum draw, so to speak. You were one of the second or third row, right?
I was second or third row. It all kind of becomes a blur, but yeah, I was a ways back there.
Yeah, you had a lot of work. I haven't looked. Where'd you draw this year? You guys on the front?
So this year they started us in a top 10 finishers from the Parker 250 is in first row. Okay. I finished right inside of that. I think I finished 7th or 8th in Parker. So I'm starting in that first row. But I'm kind of to the outside, so we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, how's everything with Jagged X? I mean, obviously you guys run a few vehicles. You run both, one of the teams that are running both Best in the Desert and Score. How's everything looking for this year?
Jagged X is doing awesome, man. We're doing that. We're racing BITD, Score, and actually this year at this race we're racing in the short course too. So we threw a car together for that, and we're gonna kind of test our luck in that race against the guys that are used to that short course stuff. So. So we're going to give that a shot, but other than that, man, we're staying busy. It's the start of the season, so we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah. That being said, I got talking short course. I know I raced Terracross all last year except for the final round. I had some conflicts. You actually raced the final round, and I got to tell you, I struggled last year in Terracross, man. A desert guy going to the Supercross stuff and razors, and you out of the box took a podium, man. I got a lot of respect there, dude.
I did, and it was so unexpected, absolutely unexpected. I went in that saying, "Oh man, this isn't my bag. I like keeping all my tires on the ground."
That's me.
and hitting some of those jumps, I was just like, "Oh man, this is not my comfort zone." So it actually ended up working really well, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun doing it. It was a cool deal.
Yeah. So we're gonna see you at all this year in Terracross. Do you know?
Man, I don't know. If schedules permit, I think I might go and try. But I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. So maybe I'll make a celebrity appearance again and see if I can't do something for Andy Ives again this year.
Yeah. Well, I know they're talking about actually having a celebrity division this year. So guys, like I think they're talking about moving me in there because I'm gonna do a little bit of TV with them and stuff like that.
Nice.
But so I think a lot of us desert guys can go in there and maybe compete against each other instead of jumping into the Supercross style.
Yeah, equal out the playing field a little bit.
That's what I told them. I'm like, you can fill in these big gap jumps, that we had like in San Diego with just a tabletop. I'm okay with that. They look at me like, yeah, right? And I'm like, no, seriously, you can fill it in.
Yeah. No consequences for us desert guys. That'd be nice.
Exactly, So that being said, I mean, what are the plans for tomorrow? Are you running in both classes? I know you said Jagged X is fielding cars in both classes.
Yes, yeah, no, I'm running both classes. I got a different co-driver for this one. I've got Pat Stones riding with me in the desert section. My normal co-driver, Blake Vandeloo, he's actually got to go to his grandma's 100th birthday party, so he had to skip out this weekend. That's kind of a big one, so he had to go to that, and we got Pat Stone running with me, and then I'm going to hop in the car that we threw together. Actually, my dad's personal car. He volunteered that for me to go and destroy. But we threw that one together, and we're going to go try our hand in the short course deal.
Good deal, man.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like you guys have a stacked schedule, and past that, we're going to see you full Best in the Desert Score this year, right?
Absolutely. I'm actually as of now, I'm the driver record for Score and Best in Desert. So I've got a full plate for sure. And
we're going to see Craig Scanlon in a Jagged X car at all this year?
We might. There's a good chance of that.
Okay, good deal. Well, it's always good to see one of the suits, I guess, out in the desert, right?
Absolutely. It's never a bad thing.
Yeah.
See the guys that are busy crunching numbers get out there and race, and man, he's been doing a great job with it. So can't complain there.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that's definitely got bit by the bug, and that's always good for our sport.
Absolutely, he loves it, man.
So awesome! Well, I appreciate you taking the time, my friend, and say hey to your dad for me, and
Will do.
We'll definitely look forward to seeing you on the box tomorrow.
All right, sounds great. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Brandon.
Yep, thank you.
All right, this is Brandon Schueler with Jagged X. He and his dad Bill, guys that have been involved and behind this sport for a long time, and pushing the UTV industry to where it is today, and definitely a good family, and like I said, an elite level team. The guys are there and out front and pushing, and they have helped this sport evolve to where it is today, and definitely guys I've got a ton of respect for. Tip of the cap to the boys at Jagged X, and some guys that truly have helped push and evolve this industry. Started out, he was talking about rhinos, and we all laugh because we're Polaris RZR guys now. But it's like you can't mention the rhino. But it was the first platform there, and a lot of these guys helped evolve it and push it forward, and Polaris jumped in, and these guys were there, and now we've gone from 800s to 900s to thousands to turbos now, and things are so very quick. But looks like next guest up is UTV World Champ from last year, Branden Sims. We're going to take a short break real quick, 60-second break. And when we come back out of the break, we are going to have Branden Sims on air with us. So stay tuned. Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Man, stacked lineup of guests to kick things off, man. Ivan the Iron Man Stewart doesn't get any bigger than that. And then, and then we've got Brandon Schueler, him and his dad Bill behind Jagged X. And now we've got 2015 UTV World Champ. I guess my weekly guest this week, Branden Sims. How's everything going, buddy?
Dude, it's awesome. I mean, we're out here in Laughlin. The weather's awesome. It couldn't be any better. There's a lot of people out here. I can't believe how big the show is out here. It's awesome. Yeah, that being said, weather perfect, man. We're Arizona boys. You get a little bit cooler weather than I do in Parker, but this is just perfect. It is, man. We left up north in Arizona, and it was, it's been nice. I mean, the last week we've been in the 70s, which is, awfully strange for this time of year. We're usually getting snow right now, and now we're down here. I think it's around 80, and it's beautiful. People in shorts and T-shirts, and you can enjoy the festivities a lot better when the weather's nice like this.
Yeah, for sure. So that being said, man, you're wearing the crown up until tomorrow, and you got to re-earn it, right, to carry it for another year. How's it been being the 2015 World Champ?
Man, I feel like I've got the biggest target on me. I get text messages from people.
We're getting daggers right now from Brandon Schueler,
right? Man. I've never had, I'm more nervous about this race just continuing to do well. If I didn't do well last year coming to this race, I wouldn't be nervous at all. But coming in here, with that much people coming after me, it's crazy. I'm just thinking, every day I wake up and I get a text from Johnny, I'm coming for you. And it's like, geez, come on. He's like, I bet you can't sleep at night, huh? He'll call and leave me a voicemail and say, hey, you're not going to sleep tonight because I'm going to come for you.
Yeah, you got to love Johnny because I know he's a good friend of yours. You've driven some cars with him before. But, it's funny. I was just standing there talking before we went on air with Marc from RZR Brand. And, he's like, who do you think's going to win this thing? I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm just looking at my list of guests here going, I have no idea. I'm like, you open up past that, it's crazy. I know talking with, with Brandon, the big thing is you guys both, being that you finished top 10 at Parker, get to start in the top 10. I think that's big. I know he was, one of the back rows last year, and it just made it tough. So you guys have a little bit of an advantage just being that you're front row.
Exactly, yeah. Last year I was fortunate to get the number one draw spot for this race, which allowed me to start on that front row. They didn't give me the chance to figure out where I wanted to start in the row, but I got to start on that front row. So, I got second off the line, and once Dustin had an issue, I was able to, get ahead of him, and then from that point on, it was just no issues, no dust, and we had a flawless race. So, starting on that first line with this race is a big deal because, the dust out there, we just did that pre-run. And, the first infield section and the first couple miles is pretty mellow as far as the dust, but once you get out to that desert section, it's dusty.
Yeah, and this course gets rugged. I remember from running a trophy truck here, a couple years ago. It's just gets beat up, and especially I know you're a guy, you're running both desert and the short course. By the time the short course race rolls around, obviously it's only a portion of the desert course, but that's going to be tough.
Oh, man, last year I did the same thing. I got out of the desert car, hopped in that short course car, and all the berms were so beat up. There was whoops everywhere. It was crazy. You know how much the track changed. We just did that pre-run, and it was basically, fast roads. But I'm curious to see how much is going to change throughout the day. With that much traffic on it and that many laps, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and talking about the desert race, just the sheer amount of entries. It's guys coming out of the woodwork to run this thing. It's And not only that, I mean, the turbos being put in their own class this year, which I think was definitely the right decision. But stacked class of turbos. I mean, you got the NA cars. Obviously, we've seen what Lambert did at Parker. They're still capable of sneaking through and taking an overall victory.
They are. They've like Lambert, he's got his car figured out. There's just no way around it. He seems to have flawless races quite a bit, and I'm still learning my turbo car. There's a lot of new stuff, and I'm still learning it. So it's tough.
Yeah, definitely is tough. Talking about tomorrow. What's it going to take to win? I mean, obviously, what is it, 14-mile laps, I think, 14-mile laps for the desert race. But,
exactly.
What's it going to take to win? I mean, stack field, obviously, it's a sprint, but it's an endurance race. Do you have to lay back to start with and be there at the end, or do you have to just go 110% and hope everything falls in your favor?
I think to win, you're going to have to go 110%. And hopefully everything falls in our favor. I don't think there will be. What I always look at it is there's going to be enough cars out there that one car will have no issues. So to be that guy, you're going to have no issues, and you're going to have to go 110%. Because if you don't, there will be a guy that finishes going 110%, and he will win. So you're going to have to give it everything you got.
Yeah, it seems like it's that way even with. Even with an endurance race like Vegas to Reno now, I mean, you guys are, shot out of a cannon to begin with, and it just seems like that's become UTV racing. Who's going to get to the finish line without breaking,
Oh, that's exactly what it comes down to, and everybody goes and tries to win that race in that first 100 miles, I'll tell you that, Once you make it past that, you sure can, mellow out a little bit more, get in a groove, but I think this is a short enough race that you'll be, not in a groove. It's going to be, everybody's just going for it.
Yeah, it seems like it's gas on, game on from the start. And, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I guess I'm bummed out I can't be on the course, but at least I get to be on the mic calling it. You guys are definitely going to have one heck of a show.
Yeah.
Past that, what's left for you? You got mid-400 here in a couple of weeks. Man, that's a quick turnaround. You guys are banging this stuff out. You had Parker 250, King of the Hammers, UTV World Championship, mid-400. Man, you haven't had a breather yet.
I haven't. I've gone straight from, I think I get about a week or two in between each race, and all that week or two consists of is getting ready for the next race, and then after the Mint, I think we might have a little bit of a break, and then we're getting ready for Baja. So it's busy. The only race that I'm skipping, in between now and the 500 is the 250. And I heard that's next weekend. So I was just talking to Jagged, and they said that as soon as they're done here, they have to start getting ready for the 250, which, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and shoot, I forgot Laughlin's even thrown in the mix this year, too. You guys will be back here in UTVs and Laughlin. So, man, it's a lot of driving, man.
Oh, man, it's brutal. It's hard on it, and then, prep and everything. It's late nights and then working in between, and it's tough, but, it's fun.
Yeah, and I know you're a guy that doesn't have speaking of UTV drivers, so we'll get RJ to sit down here. Got RJ Anderson popping in. Shoot, we'll get RJ on with Branden Sims. It'll make it a little bit interesting. We got RJ Anderson, our next guest. He's popping in a little bit early, but we'll get RJ here on the mic. But welcome to the show, RJ. We got RJ Anderson joining Branden Sims, Jim Beaver here out at the Polaris RZR compound. What's happening, buddy?
Did I jump in too soon, Branden? Were you sharing speed secrets and I caught on?
Yeah,
I heard from over there. I heard you lingering some stuff about this race. So
we're going to have to start doing that thing like they do in football where they cover their mouths, so you can't read lips.
So that being said, RJ, I know you're out here at UTV World Championship. Just talking with Branden here. I mean, it seems like UTV racing, and specifically desert racing. I'm sure you do a lot of work. It's probably the same way, but it seems like there's no the only strategy involved is who can go 110%. Without breaking something. It seems like start to finish. It's just 110%.
No, yeah, that's for sure. The hard game to play is how hard to push it and for how long. So even more so in the desert, I've been able to do a couple races, some successful, some not so much. But yeah, especially with the work stuff, it's a little bit shorter, So you kind of have to push it 110% and hope you have the equipment to make it last. But that's going to for sure be the case out here at the World Championships.
Yeah. That being said, I know. Are you doing both races tomorrow, both short course and desert?
No, I'm only doing the short course race. No desert ride. No one trusts me to make their stuff last.
Trust you.
I don't blame them.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we got to get you in a turbo or something built for some best in the desert. Get you to jump in a few events here and there.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, it's just with all the other stuff we got going on, it's too hard for me to put a desert racing program together. It takes so much work. There's so much that goes into desert racing, and not that a lot doesn't go into the work stuff, but it's definitely an easier feat than putting together a successful desert program. So love to get behind the wheel, but it's just a little bit too much for us to take on.
So, all right, got any words of advice for RJ jumping out here in the desert, Brandon?
I know last year we all went for it at the beginning, and there was so much dust, and I'd come around a corner, and there would be, cars upside down. They're hitting each other. There was people passing me, and I was, trying to play it safe for a little bit. I started in the back in the production race, and the amount of carnage that people were causing on themselves was insane. Missing berms, hitting each other, and I'm like, man, if you can't see, I don't understand where you're going to think you're going to go. So I'll watch them go right by me, and then they're wadded up in a corner, and there was just so much carnage last year. So, it's going to be, the first couple laps, once you get through those, it starts breaking up a little bit. But everybody going for it in that first lap and that many cars, so crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Brandon, to pop on here for 10 minutes or so. But
no
good
problem,
luck.
buddy.
And
thank you.
Hopefully we can see you on the box tomorrow.
Definitely. I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, buddy. All right. Well, RJ, jumping out here, what's it going to take to walk away with UTV World Championship, crown of world champ? You guys synonymous with the Razor brand.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Man, I think there's a lot of good competition out here, and this year it throws a curveball in things. With the short course race, we got the turbos racing against the production 1000s, and with the turbo being a newer platform and me racing a turbo, I'm racing the new 2016 Razor Turbo platform, and it looks like there's about 25 of the turbos in the short course race and about 50 of the production 1000s. So it's going to be interesting to see how we stack up against each other. Racing for that overall, I know I got a great Holtz Racing Products built Razor, and so I feel confident about our odds. We got a really good car under us, and I learned a lot last year. Just did the poker run, and the track's the same as it was last year. So I was one of those guys that fell victim to what Brandon was just talking about. I in the dust just ended up losing it first lap last year. I went straight into the visibility was just basically there was none, and it was a slight left and just no one could see, and I went right into a rain rut and ended up going end over end, and like 5 guys piled in right behind me, but was able to get it going and so went a lap down over that deal. So learn from that this year and hopefully put a good run together. I think if we can bring this thing to the finish with no problems, I think we'll be right in the hunt for this thing.
Yeah, for sure. How has it been with you? You've had the opportunity to drive, kind of like me, most of the Polaris products. How's this new turbo platform been for you? Just in some of the side projects and even just going out and having fun. To me, this car just took everything to the next level. The brakes are bigger, more horsepower, even from the factory, they put some different shocks. It's just seemed like this car just took everything and ramped it up.
Yeah, you know as well as me, if it's got a Polaris product, they're all just outstanding, and based on the conditions that you're going to go take it in. But this turbo, being out here in Laughlin in the open desert, it's there's no better machine by far. The amount of top speed it has with the turbo and the suspension and handling, and anyone that's been behind the wheel one, they know why Razor sells so many of these things. It's a race car in a box is what I tell everyone. All these race cars, I race off-road trucks and stuff, but the Razor, you put in some 91 octane pump gas and go drive it, and you get the same rush, and you can go to a dealership and finance it. So it's crazy. I sound like a salesman sometimes, but it's true, it's really the truth. And so just with this turbo, it just ups it one more time, It's crazy to see how far these UTVs have come in a short amount of time, and 80% of that is because of Polaris pushing it, and now with this turbo, it's no exception. This machine is insane. I think the times and the speeds are going to be very, very fast tomorrow. We could probably see a 60-mile-an-hour average out there, which, you race in trophy trucks. Sometimes trophy trucks are averaging 60 miles an hour, So, obviously a different type of course, but it's crazy how far these things have come.
Yeah, it's insane. And speaking of the 60-mile-an-hour average, I know I was looking at times from the Parker 250, and there was some of the guys on like one of their laps averaging over 60 miles an hour, and it was just pretty insane. Because I just finished the Parker 425, and we were in the 60s in the trophy truck, and granted I was down like an hour for some problems, but still, that's insane.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, obviously the Razors don't have the legs to get up and go 120 on the fast straights like the trophy trucks, but in all the tight stuff, I mean,
corner to corner, it's quick.
It's crazy, and I mean, even down in Baja, I got to do that 1,000 2 years back, and I have some experience down there, but I'd never run the race course on race day, and I swore, and I mean, 40% of the stuff, a Razor would be faster than a trophy truck, you know? I mean, it's so agile, four-wheel drive, it's so light, and it just goes right over that stuff. Some of it would be three-point turns, you know, for trucks. So with this new turbo platform, getting it some more horsepower, and I mean, these things are just going to keep growing, I think, and it shows in desert racing, the amount of cars and the top speeds and where they've been finishing overall.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking specifically to Razor racing this year, what are your plans? Obviously, we got you out here. I know you've got a works car. I mean, I'm assuming a bit of Terracross. What are the UTV racing plans for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the bad thing, which isn't that big of a problem to have, is so many events and only so much time. You know, can't be three places at once. So this UTV World Championship is a big one for me. It's a lot of focus on this with the Razor racing, and then from here, it's I hit as many works events as I can, racing the turbo as well as the production 1000 XP 1000 car. So have one of those next weekend in South Point, Las Vegas. And then the short course goes full swing, so I'm busy with that for a while. But catching as many of those, trying to do some Terracross. Talks of maybe doing the Baja 500 and Baja 1000 in a Razor. So that'd be awesome. Maybe partner up with Craig Scanlon on the Razor stuff. So that'd be awesome to get some more desert experience. You know, I'd like to move that route and expand what I do. You know, so. If I could get some desert racing in, that'd be killer this year. And then there's always Terracross, you know. Going to do as many of those events as I can this year as well. So it seems like if there's an event and the Razors are racing, there's a good chance I'll be there.
Yeah, and then, you know, obviously I guess in the back of everybody's minds, you got another XP1K. At some point you guys got to go and film, right?
Yeah, XP1K4, huh? It'll be there. It'll come. So when, where... all that is still up in the air, but it will be here at some point in 2016.
You know, I think you're kind of up against the same thing Ken Block is, in that, you know, the series is still going to go, but I think a lot of people see it as something that needs to be a yearly series, and I don't see it as that. I think it's something that you go out and film when the place and the time and you know, everything's right, you know, and I don't think it needs to be yearly. I think it just needs to be good when you finally drop it.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I think guys like Ken and BJ and people that do videos like this would say the same exact thing, you know. There's only so much you could do, you know, especially like if you look at Ken, 8 Gymkhanas or however many it's been, you can only slide a car so many ways, you know. Yeah. And so the same thing is going to go with the Razor. You can only do so many jumps and jump over so many things and get on 2 wheels so many times and grind so many times. And it's insane what we're able to push the Razor to in these XP1K videos, but it's like, you know, you'll see as the time goes on, people are like, "Oh, we've already seen that," you know, and was us pushing it the first time, but it's cool to be able to go out and put out great content like that and have the machine to do it. So we'll keep pushing the limits, but like I said, I mean, you can't every year come out with new groundbreaking stuff, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's just you see it in motocross, you see it in Robbie Madison stunts and stuff like that. That there's a limit, and we'll find a way to push it, but there's not really a time frame on it. I agree. Yeah,
you just do it when it's right, you know. And I think that's it, you know. And props to you guys for kind of taking that stance. I hate it when people rush stuff to market that's just kind of subpar. You know, it doesn't seem like you guys are doing that. Every time you guys drop something, it's done right. So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, and as soon as XP1K3 is done, I mean, we're already working on 4. You know, it's not that we let it go by and aren't focusing on making cool videos for the internet to enjoy. But it's like you said. I mean, it takes time to put together a piece like that, and there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes on. So we'll make sure when 4 comes out that it's a banger, and no doubt in my mind it'll be the best one yet.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, RJ. You know, I know, you know, as kind of being one of the faces of the Razor brand, you're probably pretty busy this weekend, but good luck. I know you'd like nothing more than to wear the crown, you know, after this weekend. And, you know, yeah, I guess we'll say the same thing as we did with Frozen Rush, dude. I'm hoping I get to interview you next week with, you know, wearing the crown, right?
Yeah, that'd be the goal. Frozen Rush was a little rough on me, so it's time to turn around that luck, and I think we got a good shot at this World Championship. So it's playing it safe and battling these I guess 200 cars out here, you know, for this overall. It's going to be wild, but ready to do battle, and hopefully we'll be able to talk next week.
All right, sounds good, my friend. Take it easy, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, that was RJ Anderson. We're going to take a short break, and we come back. We're going to have Justin Lambert with Cognito on the show. So short commercial break, and we'll be back.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Just got done with, a heck of a group of interviews. RJ Anderson, Branden Sims, Brandon Schueler, Ivan the Iron Man Stewart. But right now sitting with me, Justin Lambert, Cognito Motorsports, Parker 250 winner. A heck of a way to start out the year.
Glad to be here, yeah. Can't ask for a better start than that. The last 4 best in the desert races, we've won 3 of them. So we're on a little bit of a streak right now, and I don't want to get too confident, but we're definitely prepared to do our best here as well. Yeah,
in the off season, I go on the forums and kind of read. I read more than I talk. Especially on the UTV side of things, and and a lot of talk was turbo and hyping it up as a premier class and this and that. And I thought it had to have been pretty damn gratifying for you to come out of the box, and take your your NA car, and just and spank everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the game plan going in. That was the goal, and to execute and meet that goal was incredible. It was we were on cloud 9 for sure.
Yeah. So that being said, obviously you guys have got that platform pretty dialed in. Coming into this weekend, this course, in this race in particular, it's like it's 110% from the get-go. There's no letting up,
Desert racing these days is so competitive, even in this UTV class. If you're going to win like we are, you're putting in 100% every race. That's just the way it is these days.
Yeah, for sure. So, that being said, tell us a little bit, first time we've had you on air, tell us a little bit about Cognito. I mean, obviously you guys are involved in the UTV, industry. You guys do a lot of builds, with vehicles too, though.
Yeah, our main business is truck and SUV. So we do lift kits, leveling kits, steering upgrades. We got a lot of Cognito customers rolling around out there on the street. And, obviously everyone who's got one of these UTVs has a pickup truck. So we're doing some cross-marketing and gaining some more truck fans out of UTV fans and vice versa. So, we build a lot of different stuff, and we really specialize in suspension. That's what we do.
Yeah, well, and that being said, I mean, it's I guess what do they say? Race on Saturday, sell on Monday. It's got to been pretty darn good for you guys lately on the UTV side of things.
Yeah, it's been pretty good to come out here and win races and being able to boast about it, and especially on social media and things like that, and show the public like, hey, this. When you buy from us, you're getting excellence. It's race winning. It's the same stuff they can bolt on their Weekend Warrior, and we're proud to be able to show that to them.
Yeah. That being said, what are the plans for you guys this year? Full Best in the Desert schedule? You guys got anything else you're doing?
Yeah, full Best in the Desert, and we'll do the Baja 500 and the Baja 1000 for sure. So anything more than that might be just some small little local races to maybe break in maybe a new turbo build soon. I don't know.
Yeah. That being said, so you guys eventually you got a turbo. You're going to be switching to that, for the desert side of stuff. Are you pretty happy with the NA car for now?
Well, I mean, we're happy, but we know that when these turbo guys start getting their stuff dialed in and they get all the bugs worked out, that we're probably not going to be able to keep up. So as soon as we have time here, we're going to try and finish up a turbo build, and we're probably just going to go hit some small local races to try and work out any bugs ourselves. And we couldn't race up this year, so we could not take our NA car and race up in the turbo class. So we're definitely in the NA class for the season. It's stacked pretty deep. I think there's 50 cars here at the UTV World Championship just in the desert race in the NA class. So there's plenty of competition. So we'll stick it out in this class and see if we can pull out a good season. And then next season most likely will be in a turbo.
Yeah, it's actually a really good position to be in. I mean, you got a car that can go out and win races while you develop, the car for the future. I mean, it's definitely a good spot to be in. No rush to get the new car done. Yeah,
and although we feel like we have what we're racing figured out, we know that this thing's going to keep growing. These cars are going to keep getting faster. So if we don't jump on that train with the turbo, we're going to get left behind. But even though we're running the NA class and there is a faster class, we just figure we're going to go out and try and overall every race, and that's the biggest goal is overall. We want to go spank them and make a point, and we're going to do it. I don't want to sound too cocky because I'm not a real super lucky guy, but it takes a lot of hard work, and we're going to keep pouring it on.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, with desert racing, there's a bit of luck involved, but a lot of it, a lot of races are won, back at the shop, and obviously you guys do a stellar job of that.
You definitely can't win a race at the shop, but you definitely can lose a race, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So, tomorrow, talking with everybody, they're worried about, lap one and, and the dust and the pileups and stuff like that. I mean, do you race after the first lap, or, how do you approach tomorrow? I mean, because we all know the first lap's going to be chaos out there.
Yeah, well, luckily I got, we were here last year, obviously, so we had a third row start last year, so the dust was immeasurable. I mean, the dust was... The vision was virtually nothing once you got out of the infield, and so this time, since we won Parker, we get to start front row, and so that's definitely a bonus. And if we can get a hole shot, that would just be the icing on the cake. But at least to get out in the front row and maybe top 5, that's going to be great. At that point, it's just obviously working towards the front, but the guys behind us, man, I was there last year, so I feel for them. But hey, it's my turn.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, it's kind of it's dead engine start, right, for you guys, and you just never know. Is it gonna turn over on the first hit, or are you gonna have to hit it twice? You just.
I tell you what, last year we were probably last off of our row, and I thought my engine started, but it was the guy next to me. So it's with 15 cars sitting next to you, it's tough. It's different because this is the only race of the season that's that way.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Being side by side, the only other races we start side by side are there's two of you, and the engines are started and it's off the green light. There's a lot goes into play here.
Yep, there absolutely is. It's definitely going to be a rush in the morning when you're sitting there 15 cars wide and turn one is 2 cars wide. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time to stop by, and good luck tomorrow. I know it's going to be one heck of a race, but you guys definitely on top of your game. So looking forward to seeing if you guys can continue the winning streak.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Jim.
All right, thanks a lot, Justin. Take it easy, my friend.
Take care.
All right, with Justin Lambert with Cognito Motorsports, and we got Mitch Guthrie Jr. He's going to hop in here in a second, but man, we are rocking and rolling with Team Polaris RZR today, and next guy, it's been a while, a long time coming, but finally excited to get Mitch Guthrie Jr. on here. You and your dad coming off King of the Hammers, and man, I got to say, you guys were close. You guys were up front for a while.
Yeah, it was a good race. Unfortunately, we couldn't pull through this year, but I guess it had to happen sometime. So.
You guys have been kings for quite some time, but you guys made a heck of a run at it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good year. We still had a fun race, even though something bad happened to our car, but we were able to get a finish. I think we got 5th out of it, so it was a fun race. We were running up front with Blake Vandeloo, and it was a good time. I think me and my dad were saying it was one of our funnest races of all time at King of the Hammers, even though we didn't pull off a win.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people. I laughed, because your dad, him and I actually filmed some stuff for RZR out at Glamis when we were out there at Camp RZR. And your dad, he's so he acts like he doesn't know how to drive, and I'm not good in front of the camera, and I'm this and that. And I'm sitting there just kind of laughing. I'm like, you can wheel better than most of us.
Yeah.
Your dad's a heck of a driver. But he's kind of let you take point, and do a lot. But I love seeing him back, every year at King of the Hammers, just because I know he's such a great driver.
Yeah, exactly. I like getting him to drive. I wish he would have driven this race here. I tried getting him to do it, but he wanted to just focus on me and my car. So I guess it's his time to back her down and let me drive a little bit. But he's fast, and that's definitely where I've learned everything I know from him.
Yeah. Well, that being said, how has it been? You guys, have been so good in works. And I know last year, I think it was at this event, you debuted that radical new Nelson & Nelson car with like the offset,
the
single
Ace
seat.
1000.
Yeah, that thing was it was just. I mean, it was crazy. It was so out of the box, And how has the transition been to desert? Because there's a bit of a crossover with works, but desert, aside from this event, it's a lot of endurance racing, long distance stuff. I know last year you did a good 300-mile stint at Vegas to Reno.
Yeah. Last year I did 370 miles or so, and that's basically what got me into desert. I've been racing works for about 4 years and doing a lot of short course stuff. So I was happy when I got the opportunity to do the desert race at Vegas to Reno. And from there, I was just in love with it. So it was something different, I think, is what it was. And I've just been doing it for so long in the work series that it was really awesome to switch something up.
Yeah, well, and and it's got to be change up. Obviously, you do some terracross too. But being in the car, for 5 hours at a time. I mean, sometimes I guess you do the whole thing 10, 12, 15 hours. I mean, it's definitely a different approach to racing.
Yeah, it's cool. The work stuff was fun, but, every once in a while you get taken out or something happens. But this desert stuff is more of the driver. You got to keep your car together. It's kind of all on you to drive it how you want. And it's cool having the long races where you can kind of choose how you want to drive, see if you want to get the car to the finish, you want to go for it. And it's kind of all up to you as the driver to see what you want to do throughout the long races.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I mean, this new car, I know, I didn't get a chance to see it at Parker, but talk about the new car. I mean, obviously it kind of hurt me to see the Nelson & Nelson, the Ace 1000. Yeah. It hurt me to see that thing up for sale, and I'm like, man, if I had some extra coin, I'd buy it, but I don't know what I'd do with a works car, but I just wanted to buy it, But, how is this new car? I mean, you guys happy with it? Obviously, you got first race under your belt at Parker.
Yeah, it was a learning curve for sure at Parker and everything. We had some problems, but we got a finish out of it, and I think we ended up with 7th, so that was cool. And I'm pumped on it. It was cool to have Lone Star Racing built it, and we really didn't know much about desert racing going into it, so they really helped us out, and they kind of showed us the way. And we have an awesome car. They built a great car, and other than the problems we had the first race, I think we got that figured out. So hopefully this race we can keep the car together and get a win out of it. But I can't thank everyone enough. Polaris RZR, of course, and Lone Star for building it, and everyone else that's behind me. Can't thank them enough.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, desert program. Obviously, we're going to see you full slate of Best in the Desert races this year.
Yep.
Any Baja stuff, or do you know yet?
Not as of yet. I definitely want to get into that eventually. It looks really fun, and that's a whole nother side of it. So it's going to be a learning curve, but eventually I want to.
Yeah. Awesome. So, past that, I mean, I know we're going to see you back in Terracross this year in the UTV Underground car. Do we know yet?
Oh, yeah. We'll be in there, and that's kind of fun because we get that desert. I'm doing desert and then get to have a little fun in Terracross and beat up some cars.
Yeah, and I know I heard something. They might be doing a turbo division. Were you like top 3 in points or something like that? I can't remember.
No.
There was a certain cutoff where you get an invite to this new turbo division or something.
No, I did absolutely terrible last year. I had lots of problems, but I was able to get a win at the last race at Glamis. So that basically that was where all my fame came from at Clamp RZR there.
Yeah. Well, at least you finished out strong. But
yeah.
That's one thing about Terracross. You talk about works. I mean, there's so much luck involved in Terracross as much as there is skill.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of just beat the car as hard as you can and try and do as best you can. But, my first season out there, I got a win in my first race ever out at Del Mar. And then this year, I just had problem after problem and couldn't get it figured out. And then finally, thankfully, at the last race there at Camp RZR, I was able to bring one home.
Yeah. So long term, I don't know if I've ever had you on air. Maybe but what are your plans? Obviously, you got a lot of guys that want to go do some short course, want to go step up to trophy truck. I mean, you're a young kid. Obviously, you got some Polaris RZR backing. I mean, where do you want to go in the next 5-10 years? I mean, you happy with the RZR stuff?
Yeah, the RZRs. I've been loving what I've been doing. Honestly, it's been going really well, and I'm so pumped to have Polaris behind me. That's kind of the main reason we're doing it, and they're kind of the drive behind us. But I would honestly love to get into something bigger. Of course, that's always the dream. A trophy truck or something smaller, maybe a Pro Light would be cool. But it's just all about sponsors, and you know how it is. So hopefully in the future we can it's been going well. So hopefully we can keep that going and eventually get into something bigger.
Yeah, definitely. We can ever see you race King of the Hammers? Or are you pretty happy sitting shotgun with your dad?
This year, actually, I was telling my dad while we were pre-running, I was like, I think I see the lines now. It took me a few years, but I think I finally got it. So I really maybe want to go into it this year and this next year and have a 2-car team or something and drive because I finally got it figured out. I was a little scared at first. I never really wanted to do it, but I'm feeling good about it now. So maybe next year we'll see me in one.
Well, I think you're taking the right approach. I mean, you've been with your dad in the right-hand seat, and you've seen what it takes to win that event, and now you've seen the lines and stuff like that, and I think the learning curve is going to be cut way down for you.
Yeah, it's huge. Even pre-running and racing with my dad for 5 years now, I still hadn't been able to get it down. And finally this year, we're coming up to a rock section, and I'm like, I think maybe this way. And my dad kind of sometimes be like, oh wow, that's actually what I was looking at. So it's huge. It's so different from anything anyone's ever really driven or raced. So it's a huge learning curve, and I definitely need to get out there for a week or so and do some pre-running or something because it's different for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what's it going to take? What's it going to take to walk home with? We got Seth Quintero, new Red Bull athlete. Congrats, homie. Yeah, it's awesome that they looked at a kid that young and put a hat on him. But that being said, I mean, what's it going to take to win tomorrow? Talking about everybody's first lap, it's dust, it's chaos, it's carnage. And dead engine start, a lot can go right or wrong.
Yeah. We did the pre-run today, and the track's basically the same as last year. So I know there's gonna be a ton of dust is the biggest thing I think, and there's some rough sections, but it's mainly just high speed stuff. So I think what's going to take to win is a hole shot for sure, and then the dust is going to be terrible. That's the big thing, the dust. So I'm starting first row in both classes. So the perfect race would be get a hole shot and never look back. But I know that's usually not how it works out. But kind of just got to see how it goes and see how the start goes. And I know I got some long races ahead of me, so kind of see what I can do.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I know, bouncing around here, beautiful weather out here in Laughlin, but good luck tomorrow. We'll see you at the finish line, buddy.
All righty. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Mitch. All right. That was Mitch Guthrie Jr. And, sitting right here waiting to get on. We got Shelby Anderson. She's going to pop over here, get Shelby on air for a second. We got all right. We'll let her get mic'd up for a second. Yeah, that one works. All right, we'll get you mic'd up here. What's happening, Shelby?
Not much. Just hanging out, Got some perfect weather out here. It's always good.
Beautiful weather out here. Absolutely beautiful weather. So, what's happening, out here? Trying a little desert racing this weekend. It's a little change of pace.
Yeah, I'm actually running double duty this weekend. I'm co-dogging with Scott Yancey in his desert car, so I'll be running that right before the production race, which I'm also going to be running. And this is a change for us. I've stuck to mainly Works and Lucas before this, and I didn't get a chance to run it last year in my 900, but now we're stepping up to 1,000. We're going to see how we do with the big boys out here.
Yeah, well, you got a little experience running 1,000 at Terracross last year, so you got a little familiarity with the car.
Right, and I'm also running Works this year in 1,000, and I'm actually leading the points championship in that right now. So hopefully we keep up that pace and stay consistent and hopefully win ourselves another championship.
Yeah, for sure. So that being said, how's things looking this year? I mean, I was looking at the Works. I mean, I'm stoked for you. You stepped up and you're like, forget this women's division stuff. I'm running with the men. And how's everything been going?
It's been going great. I've pulled off 2 wins these past 2 races, so we're on a good path so far. But it's just awesome coming from women's and just the 900. And with my awesome team with Walker Evans, we've been dominating in the Work Series and all over recently. So it's awesome. I love doing different series like Terracross and just have a completely change of pace for everything.
Yeah, I think that's it. One thing, you're out there and you're like, shoot, trying to drive everything, Terracross and Lucas and Works, and I think, you take experiences from all of them and makes you a better driver.
Yeah, exactly. I also came from dirt bikes and go-karts, and then I raced trophy karts in Lucas, and that was just big learning curves for me and got me to be the driver I am today. Also with the help of my uncle Randy from Walker Evans and RJ. I couldn't have done it without them and my dad. They've always been there behind my back since the little days. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, and that being said, just interviewed RJ a bit ago, and I know Ronnie's out here too. Got a full slate of Andersons.
Yeah, we got the whole pack out here this weekend. So me and Ronnie are racing together, so we're hoping to see how we finish, hopefully the top 10 for both of us. And RJ's running the turbo class, so high hopes for him, high hopes for our team this weekend. And we also have racing with some friends, so it's going to be fun this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we got Seth Quintero hanging out here. We're going to get him mic'd up, too. We're going to bounce him over here. He's hanging out here with Shelby Anderson. We can get Shelby on here, too. We'll keep Shelby. We'll get them both. We got Shelby here. We see Seth Quintero. You're running the camera for Shelby, buddy, but, you're out here racing, too.
Yeah, last year we actually ended up winning the UTV World Championship, but this year we're just going for some fun, and we're a little bit underpowered, the underdog, and coming in hot and see what we can do.
Yeah, I got to say, man, congrats on the Red Bull deal. Saw Colby sent you a nice little letter there, Colby from Red Bull, and and you got the hat right around Christmas, right?
Yeah, it was probably the best Christmas present I've ever gotten. We were up in Lake Arrowhead, and I guess my parents have known about it for a while, and they were told to keep it a secret and gave it to me on Christmas, and it was the best surprise ever.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I was looking through social media and saw that. I'm like, it's awesome, man. That's a big statement there, to bring a kid like you at your age under the Red Bull banner, and congrats to you. Not many people get to wear the hat, so
yeah, especially being the youngest one now to have a Red Bull sponsorship, and he's the next up and coming star in Razors. So maybe we got another RJ Anderson right here.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, what are you racing full time this year? I know you're out here at UTV World Championship. I know we saw you, obviously, on top of the box last year. But what else are the racing plans for this year?
This year I'm racing the U700 class. The first 2 rounds went great. I'm still a little bit underpowered because I'm 570 and they're 700s. But we came in first round not expecting much, and we were on top of the box. And the next round we were expecting more people, and just as we expected, more people came in and ended up second. We're going to keep going and see where it ends up.
Oh, it sounds like you guys got it figured out a little bit, though, right?
Yeah, my crew chief, my dad, is a great guy, and my Uncle Carlos that'll help me out.
So awesome. So that being said, long term, I mean, what are the plans? Obviously you got, Red Bull's got their ideas. I'm sure you guys have your ideas. I mean, just keeping the UTVs and keep stepping it up.
We're going to do UTVs for a while, but the main goal is probably to do desert racing at one point.
Okay.
I want to do either trophy trucks or UTVs in desert racing.
All right. Well, I'm sure eventually they'll need somebody to fill Bryce's shoes, so sure Seth Quintero can slide right in there, right?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Nice, buddy. Well, so what's up after this for you?
After this, we are doing autograph signings at 2 o'clock. Me and Shelby are going to be there for a few hours, and there's going to be other people, so it should be a good time.
All right. I'm sure you got some – you know this kid, Shelby. You got any loaded questions to ask him?
He's pretty much done everything you could possibly do in a 170, and he's moving on up, so I'm just excited to see where he goes. And we're all really good friends out here, and we're all – outside of the racetrack, we're all buddies, and we all hang out, and whatever happens on the racetrack stays out there. So it's awesome just coming off the track and hanging out with some friends that you have.
So awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Shelby. Appreciate you, Seth, and we'll definitely catch up soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having us on
here.
here.
We're going to have to get you dialed back in for an interview sometime, Shelby. It's been, I don't know, like 8-9 months now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Stuff's changed since then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll give you a shout, and we'll get you back on air sometime.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Shelby. Thanks, Seth, and congrats on the hat there, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. One of the youngest Red Bull athletes there, Seth Quintero, this offseason, putting together a Red Bull sponsorship. And I got to tell you, man, huge, absolutely huge. And they couldn't have asked for a better kid. I was able to call the win last year here at the UTV World Championship. And, and you watch this kid, and I followed him on Instagram. You should too. And, and you see just a nice, polite, very good kid. And then, last year, Red Bull, putting him, making him literally a Red Bull athlete, wearing the hat, helmet, right there, that kid, Red Bull, when they put their stamp on somebody, they know he's the future. And you gotta say, man, this kid, a bright future in off-road motorsports. So Seth Quintero, Shelby Anderson there. Shelby, cousin of R.J. Anderson, obviously Ronnie Anderson in there in the Anderson Racing clan, and Walker Evans Racing tied in. Full gamut of racers out here this weekend, and definitely, they're gonna do some good things. But we're gonna take a short commercial break here. We come back. We got Miss June 2010, Katie Vernola. She's gonna be calling in, and we're gonna be talking some UTV racing and a whole lot more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, live from Contingency at the 2016 Polaris RZR UTV World Championship, powered by Monster Energy. And we're here in, the shadows of the Colorado Bell here on the Colorado River in Laughlin, Nevada. So we'll be back after this short break.
Hey, I'm R.J. Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack. and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The hotel is waiting, and your getaway is as close as Blue Water Resort and Casino's spring room special starting at just $54.95. You'll be steps away from hot slot machines, table games, bingo, restaurants, lounges, the Blue Water Marina, golf, and more. Lee Greenwood hits the stage in the amphitheater Saturday, February 27th. Book your room today at BlueWaterFun.com or call 888-243-3360. Rooms starting at just $54.95. Now at Blue Water Resort and Casino in Parker, Arizona. Available Sunday through Thursday, February 1st through April 30th based on availability. Tax and resort fees are not included. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Excludes holidays, weekends, and special events.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, live from Contingency at the 2016 Polaris RZR UTV World Championship here in Laughlin, Nevada. Man, an hour number one that you can't duplicate. Easiest way to put that. Ivan the Iron Man Stewart, Bill Schueler, Branden Sims, RJ Anderson, Justin Lambert, Mitch Guthrie, Shelby Anderson, Seth Quintero. I don't know if you can cram much more into an hour worth of radio. Down and Dirty Radio Show, bringing it at you live here from Laughlin. And, it's been gas on, game on since we started the show an hour ago. And we haven't even been able to bring you into the loop on everything that's happening out here at Contingency. Man, hour number two, first off, got to give you a guest lineup. Killed it in the first hour. Hour number two, killing it again. We got Katie Vernola, Chad Ragland, Marc Burnett all lined up on the show. So stacked guest list here for hour number two. That's for certain. Who knows? We may slide in a few. We didn't plan on Ivan Stewart. Didn't plan on Seth Quintero, but we slide them in there. You know how it is. We're sitting here watching the cars go by, watching these predominantly Polaris RZRs go by, and I'm just grabbing people off the street, bringing them in, throwing them down, sitting them in the hot seat, and getting all the news and storylines. But, like we said earlier, I know Branden Sims and I were talking about it. Beautiful weather here in Laughlin for this weekend's UTV World Championship. Absolutely phenomenal weather. You couldn't ask for better weather. Slight breeze, not windy. I said a slight breeze. Perfect for race day, which is tomorrow. It's going to blow, the dust off the course. But past that, sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky. Over 200. I don't even know the count. We're pushing mid-twos at this point for the UTV World Championship. Just a phenomenal lineup. We'll get into some of those later on. did want to give you a rundown tomorrow, Friday, of the schedule. UTVunderground.com. That's going to be your home for all the information on the UTV World Championship, so you definitely want to skip over there, and they will bring you all the info on the event. But today is Friday. We got some poker runs going on. We got Polaris RZR demo rides. You definitely, if you're out here, we got a lot of people I know that are out here tuning into the show, hearing the guests. If you're out here at Laughlin tuning in today and tomorrow, the 19th and 20th, the Polaris RZR Experience Tour is here in Laughlin. You can demo the latest and greatest from the RZR brand, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., both today and tomorrow, Saturday. Experience the tour stop here at the UTV World Championship. Only thing they ask, you got to be 18 years old, and you need a driver's license to drive. You also should have some sort of long sleeve, whether it be a sweatshirt, T-shirt, whatever. And I got to tell you, if you don't, there's plenty of places out here you can buy a hoodie, that's for sure. But pants, helmet, eye protection. So, if you're going to demo them, you need to I think they may have a few helmets and stuff that they can loan, but you don't want to be wearing somebody else's helmet. Just get your own, man. Just bring it, and, if you're looking at buying a RZR and you're going to go take a demo, you probably should be buying a helmet eventually anyways. So, there you go. But demo rides happening out here, Polaris RZR Experience Tour. One of the greatest things Polaris does around the country, they have, these experience tours. Next tour stop, Tierra del Sol Desert Safari in Salton City, California. So that coming up here shortly. But, as far as past that, we got the UTV Underground Driver Meet and Greet. As soon as we're off here at 2, if you're tuning in here at contingency, get you dialed in there. All the guys and girls that we have been interviewing, you can now get their autograph. They're going to have posters, hero cards, and everything else. Get you dialed in and, get them signed, sealed, and delivered to you fans. So definitely want to stop there. Contingency run until 5 o'clock today. Drivers meeting later tonight. That's closed just 2 drivers. But tomorrow, things really get underway here at the UTV World Championship. And the Polaris RZR Experience demo rides 9 to 5 tomorrow out there at the racetrack. But kicking things off first thing in the morning, if you're going to be an Iron Man or an Iron Woman and you want to be out here all weekend long and experience everything tomorrow, you got to get here bright and early. Because motorcycle and quad race, yes, this is a UTV World Championship, but also racing some motorcycles and quads out here. That starts at 6:30 a.m., staging at 6:30 a.m. start. That runs until 9:30 a.m. at the finish line. And then the big boys are coming out to play the desert race, kicking things off, 9:30 a.m. staging, 10 a.m. start, run until 2 o'clock p.m. at the finish line. So 10 until 2, the desert race going on. Branden Sims wearing that crown this past year, and he wants to retain it. But as we've heard from a lot of racers yet, they're all wanting to take that crown away from Mr. Branden Sims. And then we've got the Youth Short Course 170 and Unlimited 250 UTV World Championship races. That's the kids. Seth Quintero, you heard from him just a bit ago, your 2015 Youth Champ. He's conceding that crown to somebody else in the 170s and the 250s. It's up for grabs for the kids. They're out here. They start at 2 o'clock and run until 2:30. Then we've got the short course race. A lot of the works drivers coming over. The production classes, they are in action. 2:30 in the afternoon. Things finish up at 4:30 at the finish line. But 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., 2 a.m. Nobody's going to be out here. Not even me. I promise you that. But 2 o'clock staging for that. And then the awards all happening later on at 7 o'clock. At the Harris Beach Party, 7 to 9, and then the after party at the Tropicana Bar, Tropicana Hotel, 8 p.m. So lots going on here at the UTV World Championship, something for everyone. and things kicking off pretty early in the morning. But, the big star attractions, the UTV Desert Race and the UTV Short Course Race. We've heard from a lot of the drivers, and it is going to be absolute shenanigans and chaos, that's for certain. So that being said, talking a little bit about these race courses, waiting on our next guest, Shelby Anderson. And you may hear some background noise as we walk around. Like I said, this isn't a studio show. We are live. Something I like about the Down and Dirty Radio Show. I've always said our studio is anywhere where the action is. So you hear a little background noise. We got some RZRs driving by. You may hear that. Some fans coming in, talking. We've got some heads peeking in. I'm giving out Polaris RZR stickers and koozie cups here. So a lot of stuff being given away here by Polaris RZR and the Down and Dirty Radio Show. But a little interesting note. Everything is dead engine start, other than I believe the youth classes tomorrow. So dead engine start, something different for desert racers. A dead engine start out here. And, we got all kinds of papers blown away, man. Wind kicking up and, making life interesting for everybody here helping me out at the Down and Dirty Radio Show. But we'll get these stuffed under our trusty computer here so they don't blow away. But dead engine start. So everybody's going to start with a dead engine and fired up. So the bikes makes life interesting. You got to kickstart the bike to get her rolling. Obviously RZR's either push button or key start. Depending on, your configuration you got with your RZR. But, dead engine start, making things interesting. Motorcycles and quads, 14-mile course, 10 laps of 14 miles. So 140 miles, going to be really, really quick. The Ironman only doing 8 laps. And then the UTVs, Desert Racers, 14-mile class, 10 laps. Youth production, the kids, half-mile course, half-hour Grand Prix style race. And then we've got the production UTV class, 6-mile short course dead engine start, 8 laps of 6 miles. So desert racers going a little bit longer, a little endurance. The youth or the production class a little bit shorter. It's going to be one heck of a good time. That's for certain, man. Just a stacked field. I mean, just looking down here, and we'll dive into this. Obviously, just from our guests, you guys know that this is a stacked field. I don't know, man. I've done radio at the Mint 400 and everything else. I don't know if I've ever crammed that many good, solid competitors' interviews into 1 hour like I did there. But looking at, UTV entries, I mean, the who's who of off-road and UTV racing are here. Obviously, starting out at the 1900 Pro, we've got Lambert, like we talked about, coming off the Parker 250, the Cognito boys. But then, you get down there, and some of the non-RZR entries, I know I'm not going to promote them too highly, but, we got a lot of them in there. Obviously, Justin Lambert, we mentioned before. We got Lucretia Burrier in a RZR. She's running in 1900 this year, stepping up from the Unlimited into the big class. But looking down there, Christina Perkins, she knows how to wheel a RZR for sure. Just continuing to go down there. Holes, Mark and Ryan Holes, they're in one of their own RZRs. Looking down here. Who else do we got in here? Reese Millen. I know I wasn't able to get Reese on air. Actually kind of forgot he was racing until just now. But Reese Millen, I mean, the legend Reese Millen, backflipping pro light trucks, Pikes Peak, Red Bull Global Rallycross, Formula Drift. That Reese Millen, he's here in a Polaris RZR. We've got just a gamut of good drivers. Larry Ragland, Lightning Larry Ragland. Yeah, he is out here. And Chad Ragland, who we're going to have on here in later on today. They're out here racing. Unlimited Pro. Got some, my good friend Renee Hudson. She is out here racing. Then you go into UTV Pro Turbo. We got Corey Sappington, Marc Burnett, one of our upcoming guests. We got the boys from Jagged X, Cody Raiders, the Murrays. We got Brandon Schueler, Johnny Angel. Just going down. We've got Yeah, the Shaws. Shaw, he was a UTV World Champ last year in the production classes. Then we got, Mitch Guthrie Jr., Marc Burnett also, racing. We got Bo Barron, Branden Sims, Piplick, you know him from Works. We got Brandon Schueler again racing. RJ Anderson. Wow, we got somebody, Zach Beavers. Don't know who that is, but kind of sharing a bit of the last name there. So I'm sure he's a good driver. UTV production, Cody Raiders yet again. Mike Gardner, you know him from, racing Works and Terracross. We got Shelby Anderson. My girl Shelby, she's out here too. Talked with her just a bit ago. Mickey Thomas, you know him from Terracross. He also did some Works and GNCC racing. We got Corey Weller, Ronnie Anderson. We got the Holses again. So, I'm just going down here spitting off the who's who of off-road and UTV racing. Production 700, Seth Quintero. Red Bull athlete, my boy Seth, he's out here. And then looking at UTV production 900, Stacy Pike from Kingman, Arizona, he's out here. And you can't forget Sarah Price. Undefeated season in Terracross. Sarah Price, yeah, she is out here as well racing. Stacked field. Just pretty phenomenal, pretty amazing, really. That many people descending on Laughlin. Like I said, it's more people rolling in. I think earlier I was here early before contingency even started. Everybody's like, you think anybody's going to show up? How big is this going to be? Now, halfway through the day, everybody's going, oh my gosh, where'd all these people come from? This is crazy out here. And, it's the truth. The good mix of the endemic, the non-endemic. Got some older people who like poking around in their razors out in the desert. You got the younger crowd, the race crowd. This is just insanity. Here at the Polaris RZR UTV World Championship. I'm Jim Beaver. I'm out here hanging out, it's definitely a solid crowd. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, got more interviews. Obviously, possibly Katie Vernola at some point, Chad Ragland, Marc Burnett, all on the show. Got about 35 minutes left, and we're holding it down here at the UTV World Championship, hanging out with my partners, Polaris RZR. We are the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. And if you're just tuning in, make sure and hit up our weekly show, airing live online Tuesdays at downanddirtyshow.com. And also, national syndication via the Sports Byline Network. You can check out Sports Byline and the Down and Dirty Show for all those details. But, AM/FM networks around the country as of 2 weeks ago. So Polaris RZR helping me make that happen. Super stoked on that. We've always said we're the largest action motorsports radio show in the world. You know what? Now we've got we've got the syndication to back it up. So pumped on that. But we're going to take a short break out here. Beautiful weather at the Polaris RZR compound here at the UTV World Championship 2016 edition. And we'll be back with some more interviews here at the UTV World Championship. Thanks for staying tuned. And we got a lot more coming at you, so you don't want to leave.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
the Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The hotel is waiting. And your getaway is as close as Blue Water Resort and Casino's spring room special starting at just $54.95. You'll be steps away from hot slot machines, table games, bingo, restaurants, lounges, the Blue Water Marina, golf, and more. Lee Greenwood hits the stage in the amphitheater Saturday, February 27th. Book your room today at BlueWaterFun.com or call 888-243-3360. Rooms starting at just $54.95. Now at Blue Water Resort and Casino in Parker, Arizona. Available Sunday through Thursday, February 1st through April 30th. Based on availability. Tax and resort fees are not included. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Excludes holidays, weekends, and special events.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver out here. Man, it's been a solid show so far. Lots of great guests. Those of you just tuning in, you definitely want to skip back and catch some of those. Kick things off. We had Ivan the Iron Man Stewart, and then we had Brandon Schueler, Branden Sims, RJ Anderson, Justin Lambert, your Parker 250 winner, Mitch Guthrie, and Shelby Anderson so far. Had a couple of guests that have got sidetracked. Things are a little hectic out here at the UTV World Championship, but definitely a solid showing of UTVs. I mean, well over 200 entries. It's quite impressive. That's for certain, man. It's very, very impressive. That the industry has grown this strong. It's very, very remarkable. That an industry literally, we're talking 10 years old, maybe. I mean, I think 10 years old would be a safe bet. I mean, gosh, it'd be great to get my boy Joey D from UTV Underground. But him and I, he started UTV Underground about a year before I started this radio show, and both of us kind of grown our brands at the same time. But I remember having him on a month into the show, 2 months in. And, and Joey, talking about things and, in the UTV industry. Oh, man, has it blown up since then. It's crazy. I'm going to have to go back and pull that original interview because it would probably blow our minds how much things have changed since then. It's you never know what you're going to see here at the UTV World Championship. We got big Polaris balloons flying. Hopefully they don't snap our power cord here, but they're getting things tied in. And, this is a mammoth balloon. I'm saying a balloon, but I shouldn't even say that. This thing is like 10 foot across, full of, I guess, helium, hot air. I don't know. I'm full of hot air, but that thing, and I don't float. But that thing is huge. It's like a mammoth balloon. There, 2 people are carrying it. I don't know if it's because it'll lift one person off the ground or what. It's seriously mammoth. What they've got holding it down, seriously, they're tying it up to the front of a semi-truck so the thing doesn't blow away. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. They have this thick rope. I mean, we're talking, when I say rope, I mean rope. This is legit like 1-inch rope. I don't know. Polaris definitely stepping their balloon game up. Not only are they stepping their razor game up, stepping their balloon game up. So man, it's been a solid show so far. That being said, I don't know. As I'm on air, I'm talking with fans, giving out stickers. I've gone through probably a couple hundred Polaris RZR stickers at this point. Definitely, giving the fair share of RZR stickers away. I'm out of Down and Dirty Show stickers, so friends at RZR hooked us up with some of theirs, and thank goodness they did because. We've given away tons of them. Koozie cups, you name it, man. A lot of people are going to be drinking cold beers tonight, courtesy of Polaris RZR. Hopefully not driving their razors while they do it. But, we're sitting here. Got the Fox booth to the right. Obviously, big RZR booth. But I'm looking, boys at Pro Armor across the way. Warfighter Made. Love the guys at Warfighter Made doing some amazing things to give back to the sport of off-road. But, it's just been a solid day out here, and very, very lucky to be able to do these things, and super lucky to have you guys tune in when I do. Without you fans, things wouldn't happen. But man, we got lots of people around, and it seems like a ton of people kind of crowding around this booth here. As we listen, trying to get some driver interviews and stuff like that. We got Katie Vernola. She's bouncing in here. She's apologizing, but all good. Katie, we'll get you mic'd up here. I don't know, what do we got? Headphone number 3 there. We'll grab that one. So I got my good friend Katie Vernola here, and I got to say, you're probably pretty popular around these parts, huh?
I guess so. I didn't really think so that much, but, coming out here, you all have the same interests and, you all like the same things. But when you come out here, you talk so much online and you get to see all these people. I'm like, oh, crap. I'm sorry. What's your name again?
Yeah.
That's so rude. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But there's so many, new people coming out here and trying to race. So I try to, talk to everyone I can and try to meet as many people because you never know these days.
Yeah. No, and that's one thing I love. I mean, you're really good with the fans. I mean, you interact on social media, and you're out there and, you love meeting people and, you're a lot of people you never know. They get I would say a little bit of a celebrity status. You got following from from a few different things you do, and it's a lot of people sometimes are just they don't want to deal with the fans. You're totally the opposite. You love dealing with people.
Oh, I try to please everyone, which isn't always a good thing to do. But I love to talk to people. I love to interact and kind of bring things out of people that they don't find in themselves, just because, you come out here and you meet all these people and you never know who you can run into. You never know. It takes one person to make your dreams come true, an opportunity. That's all it takes. So if I could talk to anyone, and if I could be that one person to give some good advice, then I'll be able to sleep better at night. So coming out here, I try to talk to everyone. I don't know maybe if the celebrity part could go into it, but I try to, talk to everyone, be everyone's friend. People are sometimes intimidated by you when you have, I guess, some fans or whatever you may want to call it. And I just try to, break the ice. I'm really good at that. Leave it at that. But, yeah, I try to be, cool with everyone because it's always better when it's fun. It's not fun when everyone's walking around with their panties up their butt, but
get those panties out, right?
Yes, yes.
So that being said, out here doing a bit of UTV racing. I haven't seen you since maybe Glamis, I think. But how's life been? I mean, off season. Not much of an off season. I mean, jump right back into work. It's the beginning of the year. But how's everything with you? What's the plans for this year? You gotta bring us in the loop here.
Oh yeah. So I saw you last year at Terracross, and maybe 2 weeks after that, I had to build up my car for works. It's a desert-style racing. My car is used pretty much only on short courses. So we had to change that up a bit. New suspension, new long travel, all the little bits and pieces that we were trying to put together to get a winning car. And it took maybe 2 weeks to put everything together. It's one of those times where you just try to line everything up so when it's the last race, you could tear everything apart and be able to put it right back on so that way you could test. And there's no off time. I feel like if there's the off season for you, you're not doing something right there. And but, yeah, jumping in, I'm doing the works, the full series on that. I'm also doing Terracross Championships as well again this year. I am trying to get into more Best in the Desert races. I am co-driving at the Mint 400.
Oh, nice. Who are you co-driving with?
I don't want to say that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, you are officially going to be at the Mint 400.
I'm going to be.
And you're entered in as Miss Mint. I gotta give you a plug here.
Okay. Yeah.
I gotta say, the first time I ever met Katie. I've been lucky enough to be the MC of a lot of things, but the Miss Mint competition. I race, but then I also do that Thursday night. And the first time I met you was down on Fremont. And, and ever since then, you were one of the finalists then. And they had some weird rules for a while where you were a finalist, you couldn't be back in. You were like, and then that kind of lifted, I think. I don't know if it was last year or what. So now you're eligible to run for Miss Mint again, right?
Yes, I thought I'd give it another try and hope for the best. If I win or not, I love the Mint 400. It's a race. It's a battle. It's the experience, really. And I was going to go there no matter what. But I didn't make it the last time. I was a finalist, but I didn't get it. So I'm hoping this time I'll have a better chance. I have more driving experience behind me now. And I feel like that is just one more reason of why I should be Miss Mint 400. We try to meet as many cool people and bring out the off-road enthusiasts and make everyone happy and have a great time. And that's pretty much what the Mint 400 is about. It's a freaking blast, that's for sure. So if I could, give it one more shot, cross your fingers for me, please. Just one more time.
Yeah, well, that's funny. You definitely involved in this industry. It's funny because there's some people, and it seems like we're a lot in the same circles. I see you in San Diego. I see you at Glamis. I see you at some of the off-road shows. I've seen you in Vegas at the Mint here. I've seen you in Charlotte. I've seen you in Minnesota. Gosh, we're getting pretty good friends here.
I guess so. I swear I'm not stalking you. I swear.
No, it's fun. But you and your boyfriend, I would consider you guys good friends, and definitely stoked to see how your career's kind of taken off. And I know MTX Audio. I was talking to Big Mark over there. We're both MTX athletes this year. So.
Yes.
You got some pretty solid backers with you.
Yes, I'm very fortunate, and I want to congratulate you for a moment on all of your success and all of the adventures that you've brought on and you've done so well at. And like I said, we've seen each other every bits and pieces all over the world.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awesome to be able, we both like the same things. It just makes it easy, and for friends, even better.
Yeah. For sure.
And I'm just thankful of how, things come into play. So many different options, I don't know if I can say this on the radio, so I'll say stuff happens.
Yeah.
So you never know. And so hopefully it goes well. Yeah, MTX has been great. I'm sure you can hear us nice and clear and crisp.
Yeah.
I swear I'm over 18. I know my voice is a little awkward, but that's okay. I've heard that a few times. Yeah, thank you, Jim. you got your stuff going on, and I can't thank you enough for, supporting me. And, hey, maybe one day I'll be racing against you. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, well, I know I've got got a little project we're working on for Best in the Desert. So, so you're doing works this year. Obviously, I think we're going to see you back in Terracross, correct?
Yes,
and, past that, you're going to try a bit of Best in the Desert?
Yes. I'm trying to, step into that and, get my feet a little wet of testing it out. And the UTV World Championship is one way to, give a little taste of it. And I'm hoping to, next year hopefully race the full Best in the Desert. And, that's my goal. I like more of the experience versus, you have a 30-minute moto. You go out there, you race. One mistake, there goes the whole race. Versus the desert, it's a battle. Never ending, but it could be a good thing and a bad thing. But it's all part of, the adventure and what you take on as a racer.
Yeah. Well, how is it for you? I mean, going back and forth with all these events. I mean, you got how many racers do you have? I mean, you got car prep and you're running around. Obviously, Terracross makes it easy because we just show up.
Oh my God!
That's what I love about this year. We just show up and fly in and have a beer the night before and race. And
oh my God!
Have a beer after and fly home.
That is the best thing ever. I mean, who gets to just fly somewhere with a race suit and jump in a car? It's one of the best things ever. But yeah, like you said, I raced the RZR 900 last year and the RZR 1000, and I kind of put my 900 to rest. It's still in the garage. I just got a new motor in it. I blew it at the last Lucas Oil Regionals. So we just got a new motor in that. My RZR 1000 that I have right now is the same RZR I raced last year in the King of the Hammers. And so hopefully, it'll hold up. I'm probably due for a new car coming up soon, but just trying to, keep all the little nooks and crannies and, the clutches and all the little stuff to keep it going. And, yeah, so just the one car I'm racing for right now. But like I said, Terracross is awesome, but I do almost – I can only lift so much. But, yes, I do work on the cars, and I've done everything. And people always give me crap. Oh, do you know what this is or you know what that is? And for a while, I just say, hey, you tell me what you want done, and you could watch me, and then you could thank me, and then you could, stop stereotyping, what so many people say of, oh, you're a girl, you don't work on your car or whatever it may be, but, yeah, it's all right. We all learn somehow, and it's a part of the game, I guess.
I know you got a good support system. I think I met your mom last year at the UTV World Championship,
yes.
And she was awesome. And obviously your boyfriend Nico here, and
yeah, she was a little Spitfire.
Yeah. No, I can tell. I can see where you get it from, right?
Uh-oh.
No, she was awesome. You could tell she was so proud.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She had me when she was young, so I feel like we're sisters. It's pretty cool, actually. So. Yeah, I'm lucky to have the people behind me and the sponsors that get me here. I have a lot of people to thank, but first and foremost, Super ATV has been behind my back when I didn't even race. I've never raced before, and they given me the opportunity of, supporting me. And here I am 3 years later, and they're still right behind my back, helping me and pushing me through the way. And I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for them. So superatv.com, check them out. They are the best. Their stuff's off the hook. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm doing well. I haven't won yet. This is my third year racing. A lot of people have been doing this for years and years and years. So I have some time to make up, but that's okay. I have the right parts to, help me get there. So, everyone on the team, like as you know, it takes all these moving pieces. If you're missing one of them, the puzzle doesn't fit.
Yeah, especially when you get into desert racing. I mean, there's so many, pit crews and this and that. It gets so complicated.
Competitive. It is so competitive now. I mean, I remember when I was younger, watching this, and I always, just kind of observing everything. But now, if you look around, so many cars are, done up. The money people put in these is unreal, but they're awesome. They look so good.
Yeah, so it's like I'm looking at this Lone Star car in front of us, looking at this, going, it's beautiful looking.
Oh.
It's crazy, but it's the technology that goes into that. No telling,
Oh my goodness! Look at this Polaris RZR 4-seater here, and it could honestly be an SUV. I really think it could. It's it has to do really good in the whoops, though. I bet.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll keep dreaming.
Yeah. So what's up next for you after this? You said you were going to be riding shotgun at the Mint 400. Past that, just some works, and I guess we'll figure out the Terracross schedule as it gets announced, right?
Exactly. Well, we're here in Laughlin, and I go home on Sunday back to Orange County, California, and I'm going to be heading back this way on Thursday for a race we have at South Point Casino in Las Vegas.
I forgot about that, the works race. That track looks crazy, in and out of buildings.
Oh, yes, it's going to be
I looked at the
inside.
track map. It looks all winds around. I was impressed. I'm like, that looks awesome.
Oh, it looks so fun. I see that we're going in the arena there, and I'm going to have to take off my long travel for that one with those tight turns, but it's all right. We'll make it happen.
Yeah,
it should be fun.
How is that for me? Obviously, I'm a desert guy. You put me out in the desert, and I mean, I've driven, not Razors. It was SR1 and Best in the Desert
those
before,
are fun.
and I took to it easy. I can transfer my trophy truck skills to a UTV, but going into the short course stuff like Terracross, it took me a full year to finally figure things out. How has it been for you? I mean, bouncing back and forth. I mean.
It's interesting you say that because after racing Terracross, I feel like, I don't want to say it's boring, but Terracross, there's so much going on and your life's at risk at every second.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's more like the motocross style where the desert, you kind of be free and just put your foot to the floor and, Terracross, one bad move, your whole car is totaled. So that's a real mind game. Really, it is. And getting in the car, I'm like, all right, I'm not a Terracross now. I got to be calm and mellow because I'm here for 60 miles. You can't be that, aggressive. You're going to go nuts sitting there for that long. But, yeah, so, oh, boy, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Katie, and sounds like you're pretty busy. But good luck tomorrow. I'll be calling the race, so hopefully we get to see you on the podium down there.
Oh, please! I have my fingers and my toes crossed. Man, this is my year. I feel it. I need it. Yeah. We'll see. But thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
And it's always a blast. And keep on doing what you're doing.
We will, and I'm sure we'll see you out at plenty of events this year. So.
Oh yeah, we'll see you again. We'll see you.
Yeah, for sure. So. All right, take it easy, Katie. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, KTVRacing.com. Check it out.
All right. You got to love how she slides in that plug there. It's a veteran there. That's a veteran interview giver, KTVRacing.com. Definitely follow her on social media as well. Got to give Katie a big hug here before she goes. My buddy Nico. All right. You guys can take plenty of those. They've got stacks of them, so if you want. There we go. All right. Giving away some stickers to Katie V and Nico there. Polaris RZR got these awesome chrome stickers, literally chrome stickers. They had to give some of them away to Katie and Nico. They're going to use them on a race car. So what I'm doing, I got a stack of them here, probably like 100 I've been giving away. She started out with probably 300 or 400, but we're down to about 100 now. But Katie V, always great catching up with her. Like I said, in the interview, her and her boyfriend Nico, he's absolutely genuine, solid people, and got to know them literally traveling around the country this past year. I knew them a bit before that, just a small bit, but really got to know them. We were at so many events together, and especially in Terracross, like a big family. You get there's about 20 of us, drivers, men and women that travel around the country, and it's an arrive and drive. So we're all at the same hotel. Generally we all try and go and eat together, and have drinks, and It's just a tight-knit group, and you're banging doors and, and wrecking each other, and then you go and have a beer afterwards, so always good. But got to know her and Nico pretty well through that, and, it's definitely a couple of great people in this off-road industry that, that kind of help things happen, and definitely wish her all the luck in everything that she does. But definitely good people there, and I got to say, her boyfriend can wheel a car too. He can jump in one of these RZRs and be super solid to right out of the box. So. So those of you tuning in, I know we got about a little less than 10 minutes left. Going to wrap things up here at the UTV World Championship. But, those of you just tuning in, I don't know, maybe looking across the road here, maybe we see somebody will snag and get on air real quick before we leave. But, I got a few interview guests we're kind of hoping will pop over here. But, yeah, as we wind down, but sorry, we got so many cars. I'm talking on air, and I need to be giving you the play-by-play because we got all these cool-looking cars. But literally, we were talking with Katie V a minute ago, had that amazing build from Lone Star. Beautiful build that just went by. Brand new car out here. Man, we got a lot of 900s. See, I'm a desert guy. I see all these desert racers all the time. I don't get to see a lot of these works cars and stuff from other places all the time. So to me, that's what's super, super cool here, that I get to see all these different racers from different racing series. It's pretty cool. I'm loving it. Taking it all in here, out at the Polaris RZR UTV World Championship. So, those of you tuning in that are out here, those of you wondering what the schedule is tomorrow and wondering, where to tune in, obviously UTVunderground.com. They're going to have all the coverage that you can handle this event. You're going to want to go there. Best in the Desert, obviously this is sanctioned by Best in the Desert. But UTVunderground.com is going to have all the info. I'm sure Race Desert will pick up a bit of the info too. But UTVunderground.com, there you go. That's the place to be. I'll be posting pictures onto my Facebook and social media, so I'll give myself a plug there. At JimBeaver15 on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.com/DownAndDirtyShow. You can get all that, all my updates there as well. But tomorrow things really get kicked off. Those of you that are out here today, though, contingency. Here in about 10 minutes, we got an autograph signing kicking off here at the Polaris RZR booth, tied in with UTV Underground. The driver meet and greet, you definitely want to be over there, get dialed in, get those autographs, hero cards, posters, stickers, koozie cups, and everything else that they're giving away. But tomorrow things get kicked off early in the morning, 6:30 a.m. Motorcycles and quads start. And then follow that up, we've got the desert race, the big one, the desert race, starting at 10 a.m. here at the UTV World Championship. And then we've got the youth short course 170s and unlimited 250s. It's a small, shorter race, run for 30 minutes, Grand Prix style. That starts at 2 o'clock, finishes up at 2:30. And then capping things off, we got the short course race, 2:30 start, 4:30 finish, 2 hours of short course racing here in Laughlin, Nevada at the Off-Road Events Park. And then we got an award ceremony later on tonight, or tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And 8 o'clock, we got the UTV World Championship Monster Energy after party at the Tropicana Hotel, the Tropicana Bar. Lots going on. So, if you're in Arizona, you're in SoCal, if you're in, in Southern Nevada, honestly, take it out here. It's free tomorrow, free. Not even cost you to get in to the events park there, from what I understand. They're giving everything... maybe a parking fee, I don't know, but all in all, it's pretty inexpensive out here. So literally, it's going to cost you beer and food and soda and whatever else you want. But I guess if you go on those Polaris RZR Rive and Drives, you may walk away with your RZR. That may cost you a few dollars. But other than that, it's all free. Good people out here. Great racers. And it's just a phenomenal showing out here. And like I said, beautiful, beautiful weather. You couldn't ask for much more out here in Laughlin, Nevada. UTV World Championship, Polaris RZR, just absolute amazing venue and a perfect weekend for all this to happen. It truly, truly is. So, kind of wrapping things up. Definitely have to thank all of our guests. Ivan the Iron Man Stewart, a legend, getting him on air. Brandon Schueler, Branden Sims, your 2015 champ, trying to repeat. Got RJ Anderson. He's looking to wear the crown for the first time. Justin Lambert coming off his Parker 250 win. The Cognito boys looking to finish that winning streak. Won 3 out of the past 4 Best in the Desert races. Looking to make it 4 out of 5. We had Mitch Guthrie Jr. on air, just a kid that eats, sleeps, breathes RZR vehicles. And then Shelby Anderson on air, had Seth Quintero tied in there as well, and Katie Vernola, KTVRacing.com. You heard that plug, solid plug by Katie V there. But great having her on air as well. I've been Jim Beaver. I've been Jim Beaver my entire life, 35 years of it. But we've had a great one. Man, gotta thank Polaris RZR, Subaru, General Tire, Dirtfish Rally School. Man, losing tongue-tied, nightmarish right there. Polaris RZR, Subaru, General Tire, Dirtfish Rally School, Blue Water Resort and Casino, KC Highlights, MTX Audio, the official audio partner of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, and Gibson Exhaust. For everything. Don't forget, if you're out here, Polaris RZR Arrive and Drives, you can get on those today and tomorrow till 5 o'clock. They're at the race course, so just head on over there and get dialed in. Man, go and test drive a new RZR and see what you like. 2-seaters, 4-seaters, XP1000s, XP Turbos. They got you handled. And be sure and follow me at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/Down and Dirty Show or DownandDirtyShow.com for all of those back episodes. You can download our app, available on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and the Amazon Kindle store. Just search Down and Dirty Show. And after this, all the event coverage you can handle is going to be coming at you by way of UTVUnderground.com. So tune into UTVUnderground.com. They will have you handled for the rest of the race weekend. And big shout-out to Polaris RZR for helping put this event on. This is Jim Beaver, been coming at you from the Polaris RZR 2016 UTV World Championship, powered by Monster Energy. This has been an airing of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. We'll be at you live from the event. I'm on the mic tomorrow. If you're out here, say hey, and tag me in all your photos. And as always, good luck to the racers, and game on.